What's
All
going
right.
on, everybody? This is Jay. What's going on, everybody? This is Jay,
And this is Warren.
and we're the Eagles Collective. And here today, we're about to give you some quick thoughts on yesterday's game versus the LA Rams.
Yeah, yesterday's game was a really standout game for the Eagles. I think we it was our best performance yet for Week 5. Uh, I'm excited to see how we play next and how we perform and just how our defense plays out. Jay, what did you think about the game?
Overall, I was pleased with the game. I don't want to sound like every other Eagles fan dissatisfied and upset because I'm very grateful to be 5-0. It's not easy to even win one game in the NFL, but we're leaving points on the board. We could be blowing teams out, but you know what I love about this team? Through 5 weeks, we found five different ways to win, and I love that about this team so far.
Yeah, I agree with you. We did. We won in every way. So we'll get started with it and we'll talk about our leader of the whole team is Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts had 103 passing yards and 72 rushing yards. I saw him run a lot more than what he has in the past. Jay, what do you think about Jalen's performance?
I think his performance was good. To have 375 total yards in the win, 303 on the air, 72 on the ground. It's very impressive to see the numbers that he's putting up. And when he starts rolling, it's like he doesn't stop. He's fearless. I would like to see a little bit less quarterback design runs for him, just a little bit more, just, for injury purposes and longevity purposes. But Jalen is a smart runner. I'm noticing he gets down pretty much. He doesn't always invite the contact, but he always tends to get down at the right moment or go out of bounds or make that extra cut. But man, when he plants his foot in the floor, he has those defenders on skates. It was pretty to watch. It's pretty to see him when he gets a 300-yard game and 50 yards plus rushing because he's keeping the defense on their heels.
Yeah, I think what really stunned me was how he was picking the right times to run, and it wasn't a pressure run. It was kind of almost as if he kind of pre-anticipated to make that run, and he was getting over 10 yards at least on each run that he made. So definitely good to see that. Uh, we'll move over to our receivers. So Dallas Goddard had his best game by far. He went on ahead and got 117 yards. And what do you think about that, Jay?
It's his first 100-yard game since week 9 of last year, and he exactly ended with 100 yards that game versus the Texans. But, we need him to be part of the offense. In the group, we had a discussion last week. One of our members posted, we need to get him involved, and we really do need to get him involved because he opens up everything else. The one thing about going into this season that I was adamant on is that we're going to be able to beat teams with different players. And so far, AJ's been, doing his thing. Swift did his thing, and now Goddard comes out. Devontae had those, first couple games with big games. So, I'm happy to see Goddard finally get involved, and just moving forward. If the Eagles distribute the ball like this, it's going to be hard for the opposing teams to game plan versus them.
Yeah, getting Goddard involved is definitely going to help our offense with Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, and now with Swift out there, and we can't forget about Watkins, Quez Watkins. It it confuses the defense. So I think in our last 4 games that we had, the fact that we were not giving Dallas Goddard the ball as much, it made it a little difficult for that decision making when it came to passing for Jalen. But now with everybody now seeing, hey, we do have Dallas Goddard and we can utilize him the way that we need him. This is another person you need to look out for. So it's good that we got him the ball this time. Very active on the field. I like that he was the first one to touch the ball as the game
Yeah.
started. So like he got the first 2 touches and they both were first downs.
Yeah, you
So
could
it's
tell that they wanted to involve him more in the game. You could tell that they had that in mind. Like, let's start feeding him. That was the tone setter. Like, let's get the tight end involved because it was a mind game. Now they're worried about Smitty and AJ because Goddard is emerging all of a sudden. That's not who we expected to catch the first target from Jalen Hurts.
exactly. And I don't know, you may be able to catch this too, but every good performing game that we had when it came to the passing game, Dallas Goddard was in there.
Yeah, he's
That was
there. He's
last
there.
year. Yeah, he was
Yeah,
there.
he's there.
He had his yards. So
Mhm.
we just gotta like I think we're all just gelling again. And I think it's more with gelling with the offensive coordinator's way of doing things. And I think now that they're gelling, they're getting a good mesh of what they want. Dallas Goddard's now participating. it's going to make us a very very strong offense to stop. Um,
Absolutely.
but yeah, speaking of offense to stop, brotherly shove, we're the best at it. Nobody's stopping us. I'll be honest. I thought, based on what Aaron Donald was talking about, how he had his own way of stopping our quarterback sneak. He had his way of doing it by saying just get lower than the offensive lineman. He showed that's not effective,
Yeah, he
and
showed it wasn't it. He said he had a plan, but the plan didn't go through as planned. I see.
the plan did not. And I don't know if you notice this too, but we pull that quarterback sneak when we're probably like 1 yard, that we just need that 1 yard. We're actually doing it when we need about 2 or 3 yards. So I felt like we were kind of just messing with them after that
Yeah,
and just
yeah, it
pushing
was
them
a little bit
around.
of a troll. It was a little bit of a troll factor in a sense. I don't want to say they're trolling, but it's a more of of an ego thing. The Eagles are just good at it. They have the personnel. You just see another team. The other teams are not horribly failing at it. I think they said the Eagles were 92% entering the game, and other teams I believe were 81%. So it's not terrible, but it's not something they're perfecting. For us, it's almost guaranteed. 9 out of 10 times we hit it. So, I have no problem with it. It's just I don't know. I just feel like because the Eagles are doing it, it's a problem. You know, Brady had the quarterback sneak for years and never heard of anything. And the difference with this is the pushing part. They don't allow the defense to push players into each other. But let's see how as the season goes on, if they try to ban it again at the end like they did last year.
Yeah, a lot of people are more upset with the pushing aspect of it. I didn't really see that much pushing. I saw a lot more of Jalen Hurts is getting low.
Yeah, getting
He's
low.
getting
Yeah,
low. He's getting low and getting in. And I
yeah,
think it's a it's a move that is going to be successful with the right quarterback.
absolutely.
And we just happen to have the right quarterback for that move. And I know Nick Sirianni talked about it a little bit. The reason why we are perfecting it and why we're good at it is because we're growing into being great at it. It's becoming it's not going to just it's not one of those things where we tried it and it's not working. It's something
Absolutely.
that we're performing at and getting really well at, to where it's just another play. It's just now another play that we've gotten successful at. So yeah, definitely brotherly shove. I love it. Some people don't love it, but at the end of the day, you got to stop it.
Yeah,
You
you got
got
to
to stop
stop
it.
it. If you have the personnel to stop it, they've been stopped on the play before. It's not like they're 100% or successful on it. It's just stop the play. Get lower. The Eagles have the personnel, the offensive line to just push them through. That's just what it is.
No, definitely. Another person that has really shocked us as well and just making his debut performance on the defensive side is Jalen Carter. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man,
Jalen Carter had 4 tackles and 2 sacks. Um, Fletcher Cox wasn't playing. He was out. He was out this game with an injury. He's expected to come back next week. But Jalen Carter kind
the
of just
emergence.
took that role and he ran with it. I'm very happy for the way that he's performing, and he's only getting better and better each game. Jay, how do you feel like Jalen Carter's performing lately?
To be truthfully honest with you, rookies come out first round picks and it's a ton of pressure for them. But this rookie is playing above the pressure. Like he's over exceeding. Like we knew he was gonna be good, but he's now after yesterday's game, he has to be in the conversation through 5 weeks as one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL. And I say that because entering the game, he was the highest grading DT going into the game by PFF, even over Aaron Donald, who he faced head on. So I'm gonna just give you some quick stats. Carter's the first Eagles rookie to have at least 2 sacks in a game since Barnett in 2017. He's the third Eagle to produce at least 3.5 sacks in his first 5 career games, joining Corey Simon and Reggie White, some great company. Additionally, Carter has accounted for 4 QB pressures in each of his first 5 games, only trailing Micah Parsons, who has an active streak of 8. Carter's 25 pressures through week 5 are 9 more than any defensive tackle rookie in their first 5 games of the next gen stats era. So everything this kid is doing is either a first or a since then a long time ago. I mean, he's just a kid. He's just getting started. So it's interesting. I'm very grateful to have him in the building and leading the league and the team in sacks is amazing at 3.5 so far
Yeah, he's helping out other players as well on the
hmm
defensive side, like
with the pressure.
Jordan Davis, Hassan Reddick, Josh Sweat, Brandon Graham. He's putting so much look on him to where it's opening holes for those other players to come in and make those tackles, make those sacks, and make those hits for those tackles for loss. So I'm excited for the way Jalen Carter's playing, and I think he's only going to get better. It does. I do hate that we did lose Fletcher Cox this game, but hopefully he's going to come back soon. But also, Jalen Carter mentioned that him and Fletcher Cox are in communication with each other all the time, always talking about it. And Jalen Carter was saying, "Hey." He's like, I haven't talked to Flex yet, but I'm gonna be talking to him and texting him after the game and kind of tell him what he thought and what he saw. So the fact that Jalen Carter is also getting mentored at the same time as him performing shows how big of a threat he's going to be in the future. Um, with this, also Jalen Carter performing well, our defense performed performed B plus level, I would say.
Mhm.
We still have a few questions in the secondary. We got Roby in. Roby played a little bit, majority of the second half, but I think he played well for him to first be coming in
Yeah.
and getting his feet wet under the Eagles helmet. Jay, what did you think about Roby?
In the beginning, he didn't start the game. Obviously, just being in the building for a little while. But I believe he played a little solid towards the end. There was a couple plays I saw him trailing on Cup and stuff. But I think his presence overall just boosts us up a little bit. We need vets mixed in with the younger guys in this. So I'm very excited with the pickup of Roby, and I trust Howie's decisions. Howie always picks up a guy or two. No disrespect, that was at home, at the gym, on the couch, or whatever he was doing, and he tends to bring him to Philly, and he tends to get something out of him. And he does it every single year. He did it last year with Ndamukong Suh. He does it relatively often with he picks up these guys that are not in the league or not playing. So it's fair game. Anybody could have picked them up, but I think Roby is gonna fit in well with the style in Philadelphia. The defensive backs benefit a lot off of the pressure up front, you know. So I think he's gonna do good. And Eli Ricks was in there in the beginning. He gave up those two slants to Cooper Cup, and I was okay with him giving up the slant as long as he didn't go for yards after the catch. But he has to change his alignment on that. You can't give the inside leverage when you continue to see Cup is beating you with the slant on the inside. So after the second time, I guess the Eagles started figuring things out. But the second half adjustments were amazing.
Yeah, and Morrow and Blankenship led in tackles this game. Morrow is kind of immersing to be possibly our starting linebacker. I know we have Nakobe Dean that's out right. I mean, starting. I know we have Nakobe Dean out right now, but the way that Morrow has been taking place and kind of like that plug and play player and next man
Yes.
up mentality, he's been playing awesome, and I like what he's been doing. I my only question is just our secondary, where we got to find a way to at least slow it down. Cooper Cup, the first three plays that he touched the ball, he ran the same route. He ran the same
Yeah,
route
yeah,
on us.
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the same. They had to flip that. You can't just give guys give because coaches are smart. They'll continue to keep running until you stop it.
Yeah, why stop it if it's successful? So we got to find a way to just slow down the pass game with the teams that we're playing. And I like how we're putting other players in rotation. We're trying to figure it out. But Reed Blankenship and Morrow have definitely came in and like solidified their position and
Yeah,
have
yeah,
been making huge impacts. Um, I like Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat did really well too. He didn't get any sacks, but you definitely felt his presence on the
yeah,
field.
yeah. His pressures are there. You could he makes he's very quick around the edge at the bend. He
Exactly.
disrupts things.
Speaking of Ben too, Hassan Reddick.
Oh, he did the bend. He wanted to speak of bending. Oh man,
Yeah,
to do the back to back is they just said he kept saying wait till I get this thing off my hand, wait till I get this thing off my hand, and this is the second week of him playing with the cast off his hand, and boy, and like Sirianni said, they come in bunches, and they came in bunches yesterday to seal the deal.
yeah. No, I Hassan Reddick is one of my favorite players, and I think he was a good pickup when we got him. So seeing how he's getting back to his form and he's getting that excitement and he's getting those sacks, and like you said, back to back sacks. You think after the first time they would stop him,
Yeah,
but
his
his
bender, it looked like he was running to the damn near sideline, and then he just come. He's like a freaking I don't know, like a truck turning hitting a corner. It just looks. Like he's not gonna make it, and he's slanting all the way over, and his skill is amazing. I'm happy to have him on the team, man. He's also a pickup that we had last year, along with AJ. I feel like those two pickups last year set a bigger, set a bigger pedestal for the younger guys because they came in
Mhm.
and they were already vets. AJ already had a couple years. He was a young vet, and so was Reddick. They already had a couple years, and they brought that to Philly, and it's amazing to see this team gelling with each other.
Yeah, no, our we can both agree that our defensive line is dominant. Our
Yeah,
defensive line is
yeah.
a dominant defensive line. It's our secondary that we would like to see perform a little bit better. Cooper Cup got 118 yards on us.
Hmm.
Uh, Puka Nakua got 71 yards on us,
Hmm.
and then Matthew Stafford, he threw the ball for 222 yards on us. We got to be able to slow those things down and shut down those receivers and just limit the amount of catches and yards that they're getting after the catch,
Absolutely.
because as dominant of receivers those are, I think that was a really good test to what we could be expecting in the future.
Hmm.
So us learning through our mistakes and making us better, that's what this team is about. And I know we're gonna find a way. It's gonna click. We're gonna get Sidney Brown back soon. We're gonna be getting a lot of players that are injured right now. We're just gonna be getting a lot of players back. And
Yeah.
then like Bradbury will be able to go back to his original position. We got Maddox out. So it's a lot of trying to figure out who's going to be the best fit for what we're trying to do, and who can we just plug in and play for this one team that we're going to be using. So that's what my only questions is about our defense, is just our secondary. Uh, I slowly see our defensive line becoming very dominant week by week. And right now, we don't really see a lot of people talking about the defensive line for the Eagles, but I guarantee you by week 10, we're going to be up there and we're going to be in contention as the best defensive line. That's just based off our performance right now. So,
Yeah, I think if Murrow keeps playing at his level in Cunningham, we could have probably the best front seven in the NFL, or at least in the NFC. You know, we still have the 49ers there. But go back to the pass defense. The rush defense on his team is so elite, and I don't think people are gonna really take notice until midway through the season, or since we start getting into those colder months, which we're entering now.
mm,
And they only ran for 54 total yards. You almost can never win an NFL game if you rush for so little yards. You just cannot run the ball on Philly. Like it's really going to be the defensive backs and safeties and corners are going to have to buckle up this year because you're going to get guys that are going to get big receiving games on us because there's no running backs that are going to run down on Eagles. And to keep continuing to allow such little yards, you're already in the head of your opponent because they're like, yo, nobody has ran on these guys yet. Am I going to be the guy? And then you start playing mind games with your opponent. So to me, the pass defense, you know, 8 catches for 118 off his first game back, that's not really something you want to see at all. But you know what we gave up for that? We're forcing them to throw. We're giving them looks that we know. Well, I mean, we're giving them the opportunity to, run on us, but they just don't do it. All game you could try. They only had 14 attempts on the Eagles. It's amazing to see how this run defense is forcing teams to pass, even if you have a good guy in the as a running back. Now, we haven't really faced super elite backs yet. We haven't faced an elite back yet. So when we do face one, like let's say a Derrick Henry or Jonathan Taylor or somebody like that or McCaffrey, then we're gonna get a true test of how good we are on run defense.
yeah, no, I agree with you. Now, we have had some elite receivers that we've played up against,
Oh
but
yes,
but we have not had any elite running backs.
yeah,
And so yeah, that will be a good test for our defensive line to see how we perform and how we can stop those runs. But Jay, before we get out of here, did you want to say anything before we leave?
yeah. One thing I want to say we didn't talk about was I know every Eagles fan was upset. Why didn't Quez just hit the hole in between Devontae Smith and AJ? Like you saw the cut. It's like he had it. You could have just dove for the first. I feel like plays like that. They gotta get worked on and gotta get changed. But I was happy with seeing Zacchaeus as the wide receiver three, and Quez, still is Quez. I believe Quez is just. We always have a receiver, like Aguilar situation or somebody who's just, he's just like, I don't know if he's in his head, but I would like to see him succeed. But plays like that, get the fans going, get the announcers going, get everybody saying, "Why didn't he hit the hole? Why didn't he hit the hole?" It's just the indecisiveness. I just hope Quez gets it together because the Eagles could benefit from a solid wide receiver three with three other weapons garnering so much attention.
So would you prefer seeing Zacchaeus out there than Watson?
The reason why I like Zacchaeus is a little bit of a bigger body receiver, and I like how he's blocking down the field. I might have to check PFF's blocking grades on wide receivers, but I believe he's a better blocker than Quest. So, I so far from what I see, I like what I see from him so far. I would like to see Zacchaeus get some more snaps.
Yeah,
He
just put
played a
him in the
little yesterday.
rotation.
Yeah, he played a little yesterday, but Quez is back, so he's gonna take the majority.
We played a lot of tight ends too on the offensive
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, for the
Yeah,
blocking and all of that. But overall I'm happy with this offense. I'm happy with this team. Like I said, they keep finding a way to win, and we have to stack these W's because the second half of the season is a gauntlet.
yeah, it's coming soon, so we just got to be
Yeah,
ready, and we're watching other teams as well, how they're performing and if they're consistent. We
yeah,
can agree on this. The two teams that haven't lost the game yet have been the most consistent teams as far
absolutely,
as just performing and winning and finding a way to win. That
absolutely.
that's one thing I can say about the two teams that are undefeated. So also, I know we're having a quick recap this morning, but you can catch me and Jay on Thursday going live in the Eagles Collective group. Uh, we would like to invite anybody that would like to join us. Reach out to me or Jay. We can send you the link and just get your input, your thoughts, and any ideas that you think could help out our secondary or anything that you think we missed.
Yeah,
Honestly,
we just want your
um,
takes. We want other
yeah,
fans like us. We want to bring up people from our group. We have a lot of people active on Facebook on our group, so we want to bring one of you guys on and give us your thoughts and opinion. And we want to kind of make it a weekly thing, so it'd be cool to get you guys involved with us here.
definitely, and let's have fun with it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yo,
thank you guys for watching. We're the Eagles Collective. We'll check you guys out Thursday. Thank you.
yo.